Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show, the HHW Show podcast, presented by CMT Central, Clovercrest, and you could catch and get up to date with our website, hhwshow.com. We got quite of, let's say, storylines to cover, and one in particular is about teamwork. How does teamwork work? All right, we could say, yeah, there's team. There's no I in team, but I always have sarcasm to say there's ME in team, right? However, Survivor Series War Games is coming up next Saturday, and it's important that the teams work with each other. They say families work best, but putting four people together to make a team, well, that could be challenging. But is it really? Especially when you have four superstars that are hungry to take down a certain group that's claiming that they run WWE. We're going to cover that. And of course, our fantasy Survivor Series towards the end. All right, era by era, we're narrowing down the rosters for next week's gauntlet match to see which era is the best in our Survivor Series mode. And I'm going to bring in Frank. Man, it's interesting, but I have to start this one off with you, man. If you look at this picture, I forgot to show to you this earlier, but I see a championship belt. You know what team that is?
The Washington Commanders.
Man. And I like how that segment happened where you see everyone else is like surprised, and then all of a sudden, yeah, they're cheering Akira on. WWE World Champion, and it got that nasty look. You see the New Day?
Yep.
It said, "Man, it stinks, man." That was like shots fired at the Washington Commanders because they were at Washington D.C. and definitely they are garbage. But I can't say nothing because my team, the New York Giants, they're just much worse right now.
Well,
Uh,
I'm gonna tell you this. That when he did that, that reminded me of the 24/7 title. So go figure.
Jerry City, right?
When you
And it was green color too, by the way.
yes,
That's nasty,
yeah. So
nasty.
I thought about that and I was like, all right,
Uh,
serves its purpose. Garbage
yeah, it
title,
definitely
garbage
served its
team.
purpose. Absolutely. All right, but the Survivor Series happening November 25th, and you can see this is going to be the main event, 4-on-4, right? And amongst all those right there, and I love the opening segment of Raw. They introduced everybody to the ring, and there were shots fired at every angle. But what was so intriguing is this right here, right? Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, they don't like each other, but yet they're in the same team. So how can any one of these people, right? How can you get along with someone that you don't even like being on the same team?
There's a common denominator there. They're all against the Judgment Day. So sometimes you have to put your personal issues aside for the greater good. And that is what they are doing here.
Okay.
It just makes sense. Hey, you put aside your personal relationships or your personal issues to handle a bigger issue together.
They say, what is that phrase that people say?
The friend, the enemy of my
The enemy of my enemy, or
enemy is my yeah. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
right there you go. That's something that actually they said here, right? I think it was Cody
They
Rhodes that said that.
are they are frenemies.
Frenemies. Yeah, that's a great word. Frenemies. Um, but the courage of Cody Rhodes reaching out to Seth Rollins when before they even got together, Sami Zayn was talking to Seth Rollins, but he asked, "Hey, can I have a moment?" But Seth Rollins is a very straightforward type of guy, okay?
Mhm.
And he didn't want to hear that noise about Judgment Day. He always likes to get to the point, and he said, and he told him, he goes like, "Dude, what you want?" And he let him know, like, I don't like you, but I need you, and really did. And you know what? Seth Rollins obliged by it, and he agreed, and there you have it. They agreed that for one night out of 365 days a year, that one particular night, November 25th, he could push all that aside and be a team player. And that's very important. Very important because that leads to this, man. They both accepted the situation. The
Hmm.
situation is, like you said, they have a common denominator, right? And that is that they're after Judgment Day. Okay. They are being mindful of themselves. And that's what you should do. Be mindful of your surroundings, be mindful of the situation that's at hand. Right. And you got to be the better person. And I think both of them, succeeded in being the better person right there. Now, that's all talk here and dandy, but who knows what can happen at Survivor Series, right? But in that moment on, they were both the better person and they were able to communicate. And that is the key factor right there is communication. Do you agree?
I definitely agree. With everything in life in general, you need to have communication because if not, there'll be misunderstandings.
Now, it's listed here that's creating unhealthy boundaries. But as you already know, man, there ain't no boundaries when it comes to the WWE because there's always something coming up, right? Nothing's never set in stone, and things don't always stay in the ring. Things can happen outside the ring. Um,
Hmm.
but however, if one's is in that situation, especially in a workplace and stuff like that, it's always important to bond with your other people. And in this case, other superstars, such as for them, they can still bond with Sami Zayn, which they both have a common friend, right? Then they
Hmm.
also have Jay Uso. Okay. So, and we're gonna talk about Jay Uso later on, but they're bonding. But just them two together, eh, they got nothing really connecting to one another, right? However,
Correct.
I think I believe, and I strongly believe, I do trust Seth Rollins in keeping his word on this. He even did say he promised.
This Seth Rollins, yes. Now you give me a different version of Seth Rollins, like, I don't know. But I think this version of Seth Rollins will keep his word
Mhm.
from bell to bell.
Absolutely.
What
Look, it's
happens?
important to remain neutral on all this, and which is also listed here on my list of situations in case you are working with someone that you don't get along with. But the most important part is that last bullet right there, and that is continue to be respectful. That's the
Mhm.
key thing, man. Because if you don't have respect, none of it is gonna happen.
None of it matters.
None of it matters. You're about to say something else.
I forgot.
Alrighty then. That's cool, man.
Just
All
keep
right.
going.
Now, however, not so much on SmackDown when you have Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar. Somehow their communication just broke. And it all started with Carlito coming out in the ring and adjusting the situation that he had a problem with about the brass knuckles that were left on the mat, which was the cause of Rey Mysterio losing the United States Championship to Logan Paul.
You're right. I look the way this segment came off at the beginning. You had the LWO minus Carlito.
Mm-hmm,
Carlito wasn't there at that moment for XYZ reasons. Maybe he was on a bathroom break. Who knows? Who cares? Ray
mm-hmm.
starts talking about, hey, you know what? I dropped the title. Blah 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 blah. Carlito comes out and points the finger at Santos Escobar, saying, hey, you lost it because Santos Escobar left the brass knuckles on the ring.
But do you think that Carlito was too hasty? Not like pretty much got in the ring and started pointing fingers.
Carlito
Is
was
that the right
correct.
way to handle the business, though?
It's straight to the point.
Yeah, but he's already accusing. Look, he said it's not Logan's fault. Technically, it is Logan Paul's fault, and it's his associates that got in the way. Because if the associates weren't in the way, those Black Knuckles would not be present, right?
Definitely.
Now, in Santo Escobar's defense, it seemed like as he grabbed it, but as being a good person that he wasn't going to use it against that knucklehead that was trying to run away from the situation and probably accidentally left it on top. It's not like he
Accident.
had eye to eye contact
Listen,
with Logan Paul.
being a good person would be grabbing those brass knuckles and taking them with you,
Mhm.
regardless if you're going to hit the guy with them or not. And it's just, hey, I'm going to be this nice guy. I'm going to take this here so nobody uses it. You see, I love Hector. Santos knew what he was doing. He was always suspect. Absolutely. Because I'll tell you this, when I saw that happen, I said, oh man, Ray's done. Okay, it wasn't even a thing of, oh yeah, Ray's gonna pick him up and use him himself. Nah. So yeah, and you see it. He's about to start running after the guy. He goes, boom. He places it on the ring and leaves,
But did he
leaving the
make eye to
door.
eye contact? I think I need to replay that situation and see, was he aware of Logan Paul being near those bright knuckles, how he left it?
I don't think Logan Paul was near at that moment,
Mm. Like I said, that's what I said. I got to replay it because look,
but
on that
I
day, on last Friday, he had an opportunity, right, to prove himself that he was had the pride to be the representative of LWO, but it is instead he witnessed and saw and did nothing to help Carlito as he got jumped by Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
so again, in Hector's words, suspect.
Hmm.
If you're not gonna help your team member out, you're suspect.
All right, Hector says, why not drop it on the ground instead of laying it in the ring? Carlos was right
Carlito.
for what he did. Carlito was right for what he did. Okay. All right. Um, again, we all make mistakes. No one's perfect. But in the situation how it ended on SmackDown, you would say, you know what? Probably he did do it by purpose. And maybe was still jealous because he had the United States Championship. Remember, Santos got hurt. He was unable to compete. Ray stepped in and won the United States title. And ever since then, I mean, look, in reality, I love Santos Escobar being the heel. I was down with it when he was with NXT. I'm glad he's gonna be it again. But in this situation, again, it's like, all right, I totally understand. I get it. You're jealous because you don't have the United States Championship. But then I say to myself, if Santo Escobar just turned heel, will his two heroes that are alongside with Rey Mysterio, will they turn as well? Because they were
That
los hijos de fantasma.
right. That's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Is it they're gonna stick with the LWO or they're out and the LWO is probably done.
Mm.
No one is
I
perfect, but it was
no
intentional.
no one
Carlito
is
is
perfect, but it was intentional. Carlito is typical Puerto Rican. He gonna tell you like it is. LOL. All right.
well,
Just
you
like
guys
you,
know that
Hector.
one.
You gonna say it straight up. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. That's a great point there, honestly. And again, what I like about Carlito is that he will see everything outside the box. Like Rey
Hmm.
Mysterio, I don't think he was ready and prepared to even confront the situation. Did he or did he not do it by purpose? It's almost like you got to go around the bush to get to it. And Carlito's right there with the lawnmower and be like, I'm cutting through, man, making my
Yep.
way. Or maybe when I'm machete or something and be like, hey,
I'm coming at you.
let's go. Let's go. Right. Um, but yeah, this is once in a lifetime, I guess, when you see these two heroes, two Mexican stars right there, to were able to bond, and now they're going to separate, and we're going to see a match between them two. The question is whether are we going to see it sooner, or are we going to see it at Survivor Series? When does this take place? This match between them two should be in a premium event. It has that type of quality for a premium event.
I think, yeah, but they've fought already, correct? Yes, they
Yeah,
fought
but
for the
that was
title.
for the United States Championship. Absolutely. But this is a
Hmm.
different story now. All right. And again, is when is Ray going to return? Because remember, he got attacked, he got assaulted, he got slammed by the steps, and that left Zelina Vega crying as to, damn, yo, this is your fault. You did this. And then vice versa, Santo Escobar said, well, he did this. He made me do this. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So continue on what Hector was saying. Santo has always been jealous of Ray. Just saying, he just pulled the wool over everyone's
Everyone's
eyes.
eyes.
Okay, duly noted on that one.
So
Okay,
yeah, I so Ray and Escobar. Right now, Ray's supposedly injured.
supposedly injured, but who knows how fast will he injury be? Will it be enough to come back this Friday coming up, or the following Friday, or should we see him after Survivor Series? That'd be a great topic, especially where after Survivor Series, we're getting ready for the road to the Royal Rumble. So that's going to be pretty amazing to see how that storyline is going to develop. But moving on, uh, listen, we try to cover this on our previous one with Ray and Santos about, you know what, he was talking about the past. We're talking about the past of how he felt when he couldn't win the United States Championship. On the other side here, moving forward, we got Drew McIntyre, who is still in the back of his head thinking about the bloodline and how he could not win the world or the undisputed championship because the bloodline always stick together, right? And who is it that was in the way? Who is that person that's trying to win a tag team championship? And there's no other than Jay Uso, right? And so Drew McIntyre shows up and gives a claymore to Jay and prevents him from winning. Ain't payback's a bitch. Ain't that right?
Yeah, I was so disappointed in that.
I
I was I actually wanted, as much as I how do I put it? As much as I disagree with main event Jay and with Cody Rhodes being a tag team,
Mhm.
okay, and winning the titles, I actually wanted them to win the titles because I just don't want to see Judgment Day with the titles.
Yeah, but you know that throughout the whole day, right? It was like Rhea Ripley was giving them signs like, I got something boiling, something's coming up, and then when he was in the ring saying, I got too much, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and yet I'm still here. Remember that confrontation with Zoe Stark. And
Hmm.
so she was just blabbing everything that she is trying to do. And then here is Drew McIntyre. Now, this surprised me. I knew that the Judgment was going to do something about this match. The thing is, I didn't expect Drew McIntyre because he shook Seth Rollins' hand and gave him that respect about him being a fighting champion. Okay. No one
Yeah,
cheated, no one got involved, and that's what happened. Okay. Now, when you see this, Rhea Ripley and Drew McIntyre shaking their hands, now I'm gonna. One has to question this, right? Is he now a member of the Judgment Day?
I don't think he's a member just yet, but like I had mentioned earlier to you before the show started, he has an affiliation now with the Judgment Day. In this case, you're looking at you got Rhea Ripley, which asked him for help. Apparently,
Mm-hmm.
hey, can you help out? Sure. So it's you do this for me. What are you gonna do for me next?
Mm.
One hand washes the other, and they both wash together. So it's gonna be interesting what they do next.
All right.
Now,
So,
I don't think, and I, you know, part of me also thinks that Priest is going to be out of the Judgment Day soon enough.
I don't think so. I don't think
I
that's
think
gonna
he
happen
will.
that quick. And I'll tell you why. I don't believe something bigger has to happen at Survivor Series, right? For that to happen. And if it does, Damian Priest has to lose the match at Survivor Series. He will be the one to get pinned 1, 2, 3 for something to happen. However, as you can see, yeah, he blurred out that he was the leader, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
everyone's looking at him like, what the fuck? But at the same time, he apologized for being overheated. And like, how many times have we seen the Judgment Day apologize to one another and regroup and move on? Okay. Um, and I don't know, man. I don't see Rhea Ripley turning her back on Damian Priest. I just don't see it.
Rhea Ripley turning her back on Damian Priest. Maybe it could be the other way around, where Priest is turning his back on the Judgment Day altogether.
Well, he says Priest could lose the briefcase to Drew and Drew cash in.
I don't see that happening.
And again, it's one of those like this guy shook Seth Rollins' hands. Now, does that mean that he'll jump ship and then go after Roman Reigns because he's still butthurt about the bloodline? That could be it, but I don't know. That's great scenarios. Don't get me wrong. I just don't see the
Well,
logic of that going through.
could it be that maybe Drew is gonna help them out at at the next event, Survivor Series?
He might, or what if everything's a setup to guide him to win the Royal Rumble? Now he wins the Royal Rumble, mains event WrestleMania, and picks who is his opponent, which title he wants. You see what I'm saying?
True. Yeah, then maybe he'll go up against Roman Reigns.
That could be a possibility. I don't know. There's a lot of angles to this. And I'm just curious as to what
Hey,
was the agreement.
but
Because
how
something's
about
got to give because Drew McIntyre didn't get any help in this match against Seth freaking Rollins, right?
right, right,
For him to do that, what was promised to him? I would like to know. And if we don't hear anything about it, then we might have that answer at the premium event with Survivor Series War Games. Then we might know what's going on. But until then, that is the mystery to understand as what was promised to Drew McIntyre for him to intervene. Unless, well, I can't say unless because I just seen Drew McIntyre shake Rhea Ripley's hand.
right. Well, now let me throw this at you. Let's say now he becomes a member of Judgment Day, right? Hold on. That's a fifth
Okay.
guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? That might be involved in the War Games match. And maybe that's going to bring in Randy Orton.
Ah, man. I like how you're thinking. I really do. That one right there, I'm surprised that you even came up with Randy Orton.
What?
I'm
Unhappy
surprised.
reasons. What?
I'm surprised.
I could do that. I mean, I could come up with things.
Let me
That's
throw
like
you
saying
another
Sasha.
curveball.
Go
Let me
ahead.
throw you. Ready? No, don't you even say Sasha Banks. What if, and I was reading this, don't these two really look like a great couple?
They do. They look as a better. They look a. They look a bet. Damn, I can't even get the words right. They
Oh
look like they're a
man.
better couple than Dum Dum.
But you know what? I think she likes to have a toy boy, and that's why Dominic Mysterio is the man for that, right? Um,
You
I'm just
know,
saying, but I just threw it
every
out there. I just threw it
every
out there. Um,
every power hungry woman needs a little boy toy.
yeah, absolutely. All right. However, let's move on because we're losing track on this one. Is on SmackDown, we see damage control grow and much stronger. Okay. Asuka turned her back on Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. Shotzi came to the rescue and just received punishment. And to believe me, Shotzi, with her new look and everything, she looks so skinny right now compared to these five superstars you see on the screen. Um, Bailey, Dakota Kai, Asuka, Io Sky, and who's the newest member of Damage Control?
I
You
can't.
remember?
I can never remember her name. It's not Io Sky. What's her name? Carrie Simon or
There
something
you
like that.
go.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yes, I could
So
never pronounce her name right.
this is like bigger than the Kabuki Warriors altogether.
But
It
you know
really
what?
is.
You kind of saw that coming. I wasn't completely surprised just because Oscar did team up with Kyrie
Right. And then Kyrie
beforehand.
left. Right.
Right.
And it seems like everybody's forgiving Bailey for all her actions she did while she was with Sasha Banks. So for her to do this, I think they recognize wow, Bailey went out of her way to help Io Sky win a title, and everyone else is just blended in. And now you got these 4 out of 5 that are going to wrestle. And I think that this Friday on SmackDown, we will see another match being created, which is War Games, the women's division, and we're gonna see Io Sky, Kairi Sane, Bailey, and Asuka to go against Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Shotzi. But the question is who is the
Woo!
fourth person to join the team to go against them. Damage control.
I don't think uh, Becky's gonna be in. That's I don't see that. Becky's part of the Raw roster. She's a staple in that roster. To me, Jay Cargill will have more sense because she hasn't wrestled her first match. She's really not part of any roster yet. She's not
I
labeled
think
as
it's
a
gonna
free
be a
agent.
lot of jealousy though.
But I think Jade will be ideal for this match just because she's already high up there,
Hmm.
just like Charlotte is, just like Bianca, and Bailey. Because I consider those three top tier. Obviously also the redhead. But can't remember names right now for some reason.
Yeah, yeah,
But
no, no, go right ahead. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Hmm.
she's on that caliber of wrestler. So at the end, why not pair her up with Charlotte and everybody else?
So the last time that I remember, Jake Cargill made her appearance on Raw, and I haven't not yet seen her on SmackDown. So, but then again, when you check on the WWE website and you look at the roster, she is not even listed on any brand. Not even on the free agent, even though she signed WWE for a multi-year contract.
Hmm.
Um, but Jay Cargill seems like the best fit to complete the 4-on-4. But if not, I think by default, I say Tamina might be the one to fill in because she is listed on the SmackDown roster
Hmm.
and she has no activity whatsoever. Everybody else is pretty much either a tag team, right?
Hmm.
Or I mean, it's a small list in SmackDown. It's a very very small list.
Listen, we went through that list before the show, and we were both just puzzled, like, "Oh my God, there's nobody on here.
No,
Who's
none.
this? Who's that?"
I was like, man, are they gonna pull somebody from AEW? I mean, not AEW, excuse me, from NXT to fill it in? Will they bring Roxanne Perez to fill in that roster? I mean, I'm just saying, it's like some of these superstars in NXT already had a taste of Becky Lynch. Why not have one of those that had an outstanding performance jump in? I mean, anything can happen. I'm just saying that
Shh.
there's got to be
Hell,
a women's match for War Games.
hell, anything could happen. Does that mean that we could have Sasha Banks come back too?
Oh, here we go again with this Sasha Banks. Yo, she's still recovering from her injuries. Get out of here. And if she comes back, does Naomi come back too from
From
Impact or
TNA.
wherever she's
Yeah,
wrestling at?
absolutely.
Ah, get out of here,
Hey,
man.
why not? Okay, watch this one. Why not Mickey James? Isn't she the wife to what's his name? Yeah, Adonis, right? That's his name. The SmackDown GM.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I think they're married, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, she's married.
Yes, Nick
It's
Adonis.
to him.
Yes, yes, she's married to him.
Oh, well, you know what? What a coincidence. Maybe so.
Right?
Mm,
Hmm.
mm. Great question. I don't know, but Hector's convinced Jade should be the one to fill in that one. And then if so, I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of ego between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. I really do. And they've crossed paths before. They stared down at each other briefly and carried on their way. But I got a feeling that that's going to be a distraction for Bianca Belair. I really do.
I think
Which
so
is
too.
perfect for damage control. Ah, and speaking about war games, if you look back, EO Sky is the only one in that ring that has experience in war games because she was the one that jumped from the very top of the fence and landed to get that victory. And it's her a couple of years ago.
Absolutely.
Yep. So I'm liking it. Hey, but coming up on Raw, I'm liking this one: Raquel Rodriguez versus Nia Jax. Um, they're gonna get their egos aside and see who in battle who is the better superstar. We're also gonna see Becky Lynch and Zia Lee. Becky Lynch is wanting to fight and she's getting it thanks to Zia Lee for initiating it. And then
Mhm.
the advantage match. Now I don't know how this is gonna play out. I don't know. I think actually Damian Priest is the captain of this team. He is now the leader for War Games only. And of course, JD is now the new member of the Judgment Day. But who will he match up with? That's pretty significant right now. In the picture, it might seem like Seth Rollins and Dum Dum are gonna go at it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Damian Priest versus Cody Rhodes, the winner will have the advantage match. And if I'm not mistaken, that means that if I remember this correctly,
Mhm.
in the match, you will have one-on-one at first, and that second person will go through whoever wins the match. That team
Correct.
will have the upper hand. Am I right?
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
So I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Um, but I'm intrigued to see what else can happen for upcoming SmackDown and Raw. And of course, we'll have more details because next Tuesday, once we get the whole entire breakdown on all the matches for Survivor Series, we are going to make our predictions. So I can't wait. But speaking about
Tuesday or
predictions,
Wednesday?
oh yeah, I'm sorry, next Wednesday. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. The
That's
day
what I'm here
before
for.
Thanksgiving. Yes.
I'm
All
here
right,
just
it's
to
Survivor
correct your
Series,
errors.
generation by generation. And before we go ahead and do that, I gotta play this video clip. Check it out. All right, it's the Survivor Series generation by generation. Which generation is the best? Depending on the superstars that are being selected. And we're gonna start with this one right here. Is it the Attitude Era? Nah, it's not the Attitude Era. The Ruthless Era. There we go.
Ruthless
The
aggression. There
Ruthless
we go.
Era. Ruthless Aggression. All right, so here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So we have to select five superstars in this list, right? And John Cena, Kane,
Definitely.
Brock Lesnar, Rob Van Dam, Undertaker. You guys should have Randy Orton, Triple H, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, and Batista. Out of this list, okay, who is our top five?
Well, I think definitely you're gonna have John Cena, the GOAT, as Hector loves to call him, as the greatest of all times.
Oh
All
man, if
right.
he does, we're gonna have a different argument that will last probably for 24 hours and stuff, right?
I
but
think Cena you gotta have.
he
Brock,
says
Taker,
Cena,
Orton.
Brock, Taker, Orton, and Triple H. I ain't forgot that we. I thought we did this last week. I'm not sure. Hector, if you remember, go ahead and let me know. But I'll tell you what,
I think we did.
didn't we? Yeah,
We
yeah,
did
I
a
think
couple
so.
last week. Cena, Brock, Taker, Orton, Triple H. Okay, that's the same thing. Uh, I
But
think that's what
I
we
think that
did.
was the list. I think those were the five.
No, he said no, we
Oh,
did not.
okay.
W-
So let's go over it then. All right.
All right,
So he
so
says Cena, Brock, Taker, Orton, and Triple H. And go figure that Cena had encounters with each and one of them.
with
And
all of them.
imagine him. I mean, look at he's even wearing the shirt. You can't see me. So he may not want to be seen with those four superstars at his corner.
I mean, I know definitely you gotta have Cena. Taker is another one you gotta definitely have. All right,
Mm,
that's for sure. Those two have to be on the team. Um,
right.
Brock Lesnar is your powerhouse, whichever way you look at it. Doesn't matter who else you add. He is the powerhouse of this team.
I'm gonna correct you there when it comes to the captain. I'm sorry, I got to stop you there because I just threw in my head. I got it. We're talking about the ruthless era, so we have to be right on this one on the captain. I'm gonna say the captain really was the Undertaker. And the reason why, remember, this is John Cena coming out. So this is the era where Cena made his debut, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, and Batista. Right? These guys are now grooming in and everything else, right? They come from OVM. And when John Cena said that ruthless aggression to Kurt Angle, when he went backstage, he shook Undertaker's hand. And by that time, the Undertaker was the biker dude, right? The American biker,
The
whatever it is
American
that he was
Badass.
doing, right? American badass. So I would say the Undertaker should be the captain of this team. But would you agree or disagree?
No, I think you're right because if you're looking at when you start looking at the timetable of it, all right, where Cena just came in, Cena
Mhm.
wasn't power. Cena wasn't that powerful then as what he is now. So you take Taker as your captain. You make him your captain.
Mhm.
But now the Taker then take
He says, "Don't get used to me agreeing with me." Come on, man.
ah
You know I got my facts,
well
David.
well
Yeah, I got my facts.
well you have Taker then as the captain, Cena. We said Brock, so now we
Hmm.
need two more, correct?
Right. I totally agree. You need to have someone that's very psychotic compared to everything else. So I will say Randy Orton.
Okay. And why not then just take the dirtiest player in the game in Ric Flair? Because you need
The
someone that's dirty too. When you cheat, you win.
but Ric Flair's been around, right? He's been
Correct.
around. He's been
Yeah.
around. You talking about WCW and everything else, and I I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable with the maybe in the golden era, Ric Flair, but for the ruthless era, I don't think so. By then he's already aging and everything else.
True.
Um I do
Well,
agree.
well
I do
then,
agree
but
with Hector's comment of the five guys that he had chosen was Triple H, Orton, Taker, Brock, and Cena.
okay, but now let me make this argument.
Hmm.
Cena's not the captain because he had just walked into that era, correct?
Right?
So he wasn't as powerful in that era as what he's become now,
He
correct?
was always powerful. He was a champion during the ruthless era.
All right,
He
then
was the United
scratch
States
that.
champion. Do you forgot? By the time he was transitioning to the PG era, is when he became the world champion.
All right, so let's leave him there. Then we got
Yeah,
our five. Hector named the five right off the bat. Thank you, Hector.
I do agree. I do agree.
And I
All right.
will agree with him. Just remember,
Yeah,
Cena's the
for
greatest
now.
of all times, Hector.
For now. But let's move over to the PG era. And because we used John Cena in the ruthless era, we can't not use him again. So now you got yourself CM Punk, Kofi Kingston, Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, and Cesaro, and also Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, The Big Show, Mark Henry, and Drew McIntyre. Now
All
I got it. This is Drew McIntyre being the 3 and B, but he also before he was in that group, this was the era where he was the Intercontinental Champion. So there was a lot of promising for his future, right? Um, and he wasn't as built then as he is
right.
now.
Yeah,
Okay. Co- Cody Rhodes was also famous for being the Intercontinental Champion during that run, right?
Stardust.
That was towards the end. I wouldn't even count that. But you can also count where he was under Randy Orton,
Hmm.
right? The legend killer. So, and then you had Sheamus and Cesaro there when they used to battle each other, and then they became tag teams.
The
And then
bar
Wade Barrett was also the leader. I think he was
of
a leader of
Nexus
the
of
right.
the
There you
Nexus.
go. And Kofi Kingston got rid of his accent to become Kofi Kingston. You know what I mean? So,
All
and
right,
then you have
so
the Big Show and Mark Henry. I mean, those two were the heavyweight powerhouses. As a matter of fact, if I
I
like
got your
CM
five.
Punk, I got CM Punk, Big Show, Mark Henry, Wade Barrett, and Sheamus. That's my five.
I got Big Show.
Hold on, I'm gonna write this down. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Big
write it
Show.
down. Write it
Uh
down
huh.
because I don't have Punk in there.
All right, go
Mark
ahead.
Henry, Big Show, Mark Henry, Rey Mysterio, because you cannot count Rey Mysterio out. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Oh what
All right.
man? What he beat Big Show, all
Go
right?
man. Go 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 go.
And then you
Show Henry
have
Mysterio.
and then I would take Cesaro and Sheamus.
Okay. Now I wouldn't pick Rey Mysterio, and I know, what's that called? I don't want to be discriminating, but there ain't nobody short out of all that we've selected. There's no one short, man. All right,
It doesn't matter.
but
Rey Mysterio has proven himself, man.
okay,
Look at
okay,
all that he's done against all the
okay.
bigger opponents. He's won world titles. He's,
Hmm.
why not? I mean, it makes no sense.
So,
He's
so
another
Hector
greatest of all
says
time.
CM Punk. He says Mark Henry. He says Sheamus, Cesaro, and Barrett. Okay, so let's put it this way. I think we all agreed with Sheamus.
Correct.
Unanimously, Sheamus should be in the team. We unanimously put Mark Henry.
Hmm.
So for out of three of us, those two names are unanimously in. Sheamus and Mark Henry.
Correct.
but I like CM Punk. Frank, look. First of all, let me put this up real quick because he says, Frank, look at the other rosters. Ray would match well with anyone on the other teams.
Wouldn't.
Oh, wouldn't. Well, he said would. Now he says wouldn't.
Okay,
Okay, got
well,
it.
well,
So,
hold on, but my
so
argument is
he's
this:
trying to persuade you to cancel out Rey Mysterio.
there's no persuasion because look at look at who Rey Mysterio has beaten in his careers. Okay, he's
Right.
always beaten the bigger opponent.
But you know
Okay,
what opponent he could not beat? He
Brock
could not
Lesnar.
beat John Cena.
He's
He
never beaten
lost the
John Cena.
title to John Cena. You can look it up.
No,
That
I
same
believe you.
day that Rey Mysterio won the title, that same day he lost the title to John Cena. They pulled a Hulk Hogan in one of those WrestleManias. And right, he cannot beat The Undertaker, and he definitely can't beat Brock
Brock,
Lesnar.
definitely not. I agree.
So I would not choose him in my team. Just saying. Does that
Mm,
convince you enough?
mm. Man, you guys are
Mm,
assholes.
I know. I know. I know. Um, so with him gone,
All right,
you
then
definitely don't want Kofi Kingston there because he'd get demolished by Brock Lesnar in a heartbeat. What was that, 8 seconds?
something like that. Well, then I guess in place of Rey Mysterio, I will take CM Punk.
If you
So
take
we got
CM
three.
Punk, I would put in Wade Barrett because he does deliver bad news.
He does deliver bad news.
All right.
Bad news
So we
Barrett.
got CM Punk, Wade Barrett, Sheamus,
What do
Mark
you mean
Henry.
CM Punk?
You just said Punk.
I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah. 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 I'm sorry. I got confused. Go. Keep
Man.
going. Keep going. Don't
Telling you,
worry.
that's that old age of yours catching up, man.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
CM Punk, Wade Barrett, Sheamus, Mark Henry. I need one more.
Big Show. We had Big Show. You had Big Show already. You said you'd take Big Show. I said I'll take Big Show. Hector, we're taking Big Show.
Hector would be taking Big Show. I don't think he even mentioned Big Show.
No, no, I'm just telling him we're taking Big Show.
What did he say? He said Punk, Henry, Sheamus, Cesaro, and Barrett.
He says
Yep,
Cesaro.
he says
Well,
Cesaro.
I did say Cesaro too,
But why not Cody Rhodes? I'm not talking about the Cody Rhodes president. Cody Rhodes was the intercontinental champion.
but I don't think Cody Rhodes was much back then. If we're talking about eras of what Cody Rhodes was
Once he
back in that
left,
era,
once he left the Randy Orton and went solo, he was a fighting champion. He was the intercontinental champion. We cannot forget that either.
no, that's not being forgotten. But it's just like Hector has right here. It's
But y'all want to say Stardust and stuff like that, and y'all forget that that was the gimmick that was changed towards the end of his career with WWE, and then he was gone.
I just don't think that he measures up with any of those guys much, except for maybe Ray and Kofi.
Okay, so it's either Big Show or Cesaro.
I think
I
I
don't
think
think
you get. I
Big
think
Show
he's
had the fist, but you talking about Big Show, the guy that lost to Floyd Mayweather.
that's a boxing match, man. This guy's a
That was a
wrestler, not a
WrestleMania
boxer.
match though, but he still lost to
But
the
it was
guy.
a boxing match. Well, then fine. You know what? Let's take Cesaro. Cesaro's a big guy that can pack a punch and that can fly in the ring too.
He might just take a couple of them and swing them around 27 times.
Possibly.
He's capable, but I'll take him. And besides, I think he was underrated throughout his whole time with WWE. So yeah, the king of swings, my friend. Here we go. All right, let's move on to the international era, and where you have the formerly known as the Shield. You had, which respectively they went in their individual ways. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew Ambrose, Bray
Dean
Wyatt, AJ
Ambrose.
Styles, Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan. Then you a couple of NXTs there where you have Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa, and then you got Finn Balor.
All right, so I'm going to start this one off.
All right, go
The
ahead.
first three, the first three you got, you have the Shield right there. The Shield as a three-person unit was unstoppable.
Okay.
All right, I would take those three: Kevin Owens and Bray Wyatt.
Mm, okay. Here's my theory on this: is that I would have taken Roman Reigns,
Mhm.
Seth Rollins. I will also take Daniel Bryan, KO, and AJ Styles.
Damn,
Those are my five. And I'm gonna tell you why. Is because for one, Roman Reigns, he's the muscle. Seth Rollins was the brains. Okay. AJ Styles, from him coming from Japan. Okay. He's also recognized from Ring of Honor. He's also has done a lot of locals for everyone to know him, formerly
and
known as
Impact.
the Northeast Wrestling type of guy. Okay. KO comes out of nowhere and beats John Cena as the NXT champion. Daniel Bryan with his yes movement. Okay. Am I missing anybody? No, that covers it. And I did say AJ Styles. So that was my top five right there. Now, Hector says Dean, Bray, Kevin, Bryan, and
Balor.
Balor. All right. So we got some conflicting stuff here
All right,
that
so
we need
we all
to.
agree Kevin.
All right. So
Okay.
Kevin Owens, we agree.
Dean Bray. We no down. Yeah, I think the only one we agreed was on Kevin Owens. All of us.
Yeah.
All right, then you and
There's
I.
a there's a lot of twos in there.
Then yeah, then you and I agreed on Roman Reigns
And Seth Rollins.
and Seth Rollins.
Did we agree anything that Hector said with who you said Bray?
I said
I
Bray.
didn't say
So
Bray.
Hector and I agreed, and I agreed Bray. Dean, no quit fighting style.
So would you accept for the whole entire Shield to be there?
I would. I would. Let's see. Look, Hector has Dean's a no quick fighting style. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, dude, hold on here.
He
You
says
want me to,
Daniel Bryan has that wrestling technique. Okay.
correct.
So I like that.
Damn it, Hector. Hector said no, he does not agree with having the whole shield. God darn it, Hector.
Okay.
Um,
Again, Seth Rollins got to be it. I would leave Dean Ambrose out.
I just think that as all three of them, as you
They all
know,
are unique in three different ways.
they're
I got it. I
they're
told
they're
yes.
unique in three different ways, but when you put them together, they're powerful. Sean was the leader of,
Who's
I
Sean?
think, I don't know, I think his voice
You said
texting or
Dean.
something.
Dean was a leader of
Dean,
what? How was he a leader?
Dean was never the leader. It was Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins.
Roman
Dean
Reigns was
was
not a leader.
okay. Seth Rollins was the leader then, but Dean was more the follower in the Shield. But as a cohesive unit, they were powerful. I go back to that because they beat the crap out of everybody that came with them. When you add, let's say we agree KO, when you add KO, that's another power unit. And that's another fighter that has no quit in him.
Okay. So let's put the
You
shield.
know,
Dean was a U.S. champion. Seth was a tag team champion with Roman. Yeah, but Seth was also a world champion.
correct. That's when he turned his back on him.
And Seth Rollins took away that champion and converted in WrestleMania, the biggest shocker of all, to cash in the money in the bank and became the champion.
Hmm.
So, all right, that's a big dilemma. I didn't know this was going to go this far with these right here. Yeah, but we are talking the Shield in the beginning. So let's leave off the Shield and just call it the way it is because Dean Ambrose really didn't last that long once this era was over, almost over. He already had left. You know what I mean? So why not say that Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins is there? They got to be the only two there, right? I agree with
Okay.
Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Okay. Look at what Hector. What was his initial one? He had Brian.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt, but Dean was WWE champion too.
So let's just put it this way: Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and Daniel Bryan. How about that? Owens, Reigns, Rollins, Bryan, and Finn Balor.
All right, I think we're gonna agree. Who's the leader?
That's a great question. And since we all agreed with Kevin Owens, why not let Kevin Owens be the captain?
You know what? That's I think that's best bet. I
All
think
right.
we should do that.
Okay. Let's move on. All right. This is the last one. This is the current event here. Okay. Now, this could go either way. I will start with Gunther, Sami Zayn, Jay Uso, Bobby Lashley. No, I scratched that. Oh, no, no, no. I'm kind of digging this. Um, Gunther, Sami Zayn, Bobby Lashley, Damian Priest, and LA Knight. But then it's also hard because I like Jay Uso. You know what I mean? But if Jey Uso was in the team, and imagine them going against the international era, the era that we talked about before, there's gonna be a lot of conflict, right? Because is he gonna be really on their side, or is he against them? You know what I mean? It's like there's that love and hate in that family situation with the bloodline. So Hector says
Gunther, Lashley,
Gunther,
Jey
Lashley, Jey
Uso, LA
Uso,
Knight,
LA Knight, and
Damian
Damian
Priest.
Priest. All right, bet.
All
So
right,
we got that.
so we're I will go with Gunther,
All right.
Jay,
Gunther. What will Gunther think? Let's put it that way. What will Gunther choose?
none of them.
Bulls. That's nonsense.
No, who will Gunther choose? I think
He
Gunther would.
believes in old school wrestling, no entertainment whatsoever. Straight to it.
Well, in that case, you're talking about Damian Priest,
Damian Priest.
Bobby Lashley, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn, or maybe even Solo at some point. Or okay, man, this list is hard because Solo is out because he's just still too new to this, in my opinion.
Well,
You
how
got
is it
Braun
too new if he's already knocked out John Cena with a thumb to the neck several times?
because John Cena's old
Hey,
at this point.
I'm
At
just
this point,
saying.
at this point, John Cena's old. But look, you can make the argument. Why not? Well, if you have Bobby Lashley, you definitely don't need Braun Strowman. in there.
Hold on for a second. But you said Gunther will probably choose Damian Priest, Bobby Lashley. Who else?
Probably LA Knight because he goes in there and takes care of business,
LA
and
Knight.
probably Sami Zayn.
I
I
would
leave,
agree with Sami Zayn. I would.
you know,
But
I don't. Uh huh.
no. I'm just saying because again, like I'm looking at Hector's point of view, which also makes sense with Jay Uso in the mix.
I like
But
Jey
I
Uso.
mhm.
Like my pick. I have Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Gunther, Lashley, and Damian Priest. Right.
So
I
we
just
agree
don't.
with Lashley,
We agree with Lashley.
and we agree with Gunther. We agree
Uh huh.
with Damian Priest, right?
Hmm.
But I didn't pick Sammy. I didn't pick Jay Uso, but I did pick LA Knight.
All right. And we're gonna make this easy. Since Hector also has LA Knight, we'll stick with LA Knight. We eliminate Jimmy. I mean Jake.
And we'll put and Sami Zayn will be the guy.
I think so.
All right. I like it.
Well,
I
actually,
like it.
Hector never picked Sammy,
No, but I did.
and I did too. All right, we'll do that. I
All
could do
right.
that. Hector, you agree? He's, he's
All
either
right.
gonna
These are the
agree
other
or fight us.
these are the other top 5. This is the hold on, the golden era, right? With Hulk Hogan being the captain. We also have the new generation era with Bret Hart's the captain. Then you have the Attitude Era. We all voted that The Rock be the captain, but that could be questionable because Stone Cold be like, I said so, because he'll start throwing some
What?
beers and everything else, right? What?
What? What?
And then we could also go back to the Ruthless Era. Let me go ahead and go back there. We'll make those adjustments, which we say was The Undertaker, the captain. And then over here we have CM Punk, right?
I don't know. Did we say he was the captain?
Yeah, we never really voted for captain, but we'll figure that one out. And again, all this will be up to date on the HHW show as to what are the overall teams, and you all are welcome to vote as to who should be the best era of the WWE. I'm kind of liking this. I like our positivity on this.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. Good showing, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks.
All right, you're welcome, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then of course Hector couldn't join us. Hopefully he'll be here next week, next Wednesday, as we make our picks for the Survivor Series, the event War Games, plus our fantasy, the gauntlet match. We're just gonna battle it out and be like, who is going to win? And we definitely need your help on your votes as well. So it's gonna be interesting, man. I'm digging it.
Yes,
I know, Frank, you're speechless. I know. I know.
always. I think.
Yeah.
Listen, I think what we've done here, we picked the best teams we got possible,
I
and
think
we're gonna.
yes.
And I
Yes.
think that Hulk Hogan's number one, and Andre the Giant's number two,
Oh my God,
and
here we go.
John Cena's number three.
Ah,
And I'm sure Hector will agree to all that. We'll put Taker at four.
dude, you're probably gonna have Hector boiling as
Oh,
he is
I
listening
know.
to this show.
I guarantee you right now, Hector can't even type because he's like, I'm gonna kick the
He
crap
got
out of you.
he has arthritis on his thumbs right now.
Oh yeah, you know. So it's all good. Hector, much love.
Much love, man. Love you, man. All right, be safe out there, and for you as well, Frank. And that will
Yes.
conclude our show, the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show. All this will be updated on the HHW Show website. So please tune in to not only subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, but as well as the HHWShow.com. Thank you, Frank. Listen, and recap to everything that we have stated and everything else, man. And the bottom line is if you missed it from the very beginning, all right, it's all about teamwork. Teamwork. Okay. We are creating our teams for this fantasy league, right? This fantasy survivor series. But in reality, teamwork it goes a lot of ways. Okay. With the war games coming up, and the two that we mentioned was about Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, it's very important that one, accept the situation that what it is. You don't have to be best friends to be teamwork. You don't. You don't have to be a family to be a team. And if you're strangers to one another, there's ways to work in a team. All right. To be the better person, to be mindful, and to have that communication skills. That's it. Just remain neutral, understand one another. And the bottom line is respect. Respect one another. And when you have that, that is a team ready to accomplish anything. Whether you're new, whether you know each other, or whatever it is, respect is the deal. And that's an example that we saw on Monday Night Raw between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. For one day, they're going to be bygones and let things go, right? And for one night, they're going to work with each other and not depending on looking at each other's back. That's what's best for business right there. Thank you for watching the HHW Show podcast. Once again, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook or wherever you listen to on your favorite podcast. Speeches already, I know. This has been a long one. Thank you. Take care, everyone. God loves some wrestling.